Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're going to be taking a look through my collection of small sort of signed postcards and the larger 10x8 photographs that I've picked up over the years. So back in the days in the early 80s, I used to, one of my hobbies with some friends was we would write off to celebrities and stars if we had their agents' names, and we'd ask for signed pictures or postcards come back. If you wrote to the Doctor Who office, you could always get a little batch of postcards come back, which was fantastic, and they didn't cost a penny. Just the initial writing off and saying how much of a fan you were, and through that I got an awful lot of stuff, which I've kept most of it to this day. As the 80s came to an end and the British conventions became more like the American ones, where they were paying for people to be there. A star would turn up, he'd set up a stall. Generally, he'd have someone with him, like an agent or one of their offspring, to take the money. They'd have a little selection of signed pictures that you could choose, and they would then sign one. The master of this very early on was Dave Prowse, of course, and he was at every single show going. And you know, for a lot of these people who perhaps weren't that recognizable or their careers had fizzled out, it was a way to give them a new lease of life and to earn a bit of money on the side. And you know, good luck to them, really. I would never subscribe to paying much more than £10-15 for a signature. That's sort of my limit, really. I was at Destination Star Trek 2 years ago in Birmingham, and to get anything signed by William Shatner was £65, which I think it's just too expensive. I did hear at one of the London shows that Christopher Eccleston attended, he was £250 for a signature. No way, not in a million years. It's just one of those things, really. Obviously, when I did my bits of filming, I was on set and I had the opportunity to meet and get signatures from lots of different stars, but it was absolutely forbidden. I mean, you could get yourself chucked off the set if you did that, which is why, although I worked really closely with some of these people, I never got them in my autograph book. I could sometimes get a photo, but that was about it, because I didn't want to block my copybook for future things. But certainly some people did, and in a way I sort of regret not getting a bit more sort of signed or having photos taken with some of the actors who I was really close with, you know. So there you go, it is what it is, but that's for perhaps another day when I sort of go through my film work. But today's video then, looking at those early postcards and the 10x8s and, well, seeing what I've got left in my collection. So I do hope you enjoy it. Sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, so we start off going through my collection of signed photographs. Some of them are postcards, some of them are more sort of A4 stills and that. Got some great stuff, so got quite a bit to go through. I mean, I used to collect these when I was a kid and I would just write off to people, so just to their agents. This is long before the days of having to go to shows and an artist or a TV star would charge you like 20 quid for their autograph. This is in the days when you could get stuff for free. So, well, both these chaps are gone now. So Leslie Grantham and Don Henderson, they were the two stars of the British TV drama The Paradise Club. Absolutely fantastic little drama, that one. Between the Lines, don't know if you remember that, but Tony Roberts was in that. Some Doctor Who stuff. So we got Peter Capaldi and Bernard Cribbins. Some of these are very old. Sylvester McCoy. See, back in the day, you could just write to the BBC and they'd send you these just on spec, which is quite nice. Colin Baker. So I've got the first three Doctors framed up now, and I'll show you the bits that I've got framed up at the end. But next thing I'll do is do Doctors 4 to 8 next. So get those framed up. There's a nice Peter Davison. I met Tom Baker several times, but when I got them signed, the pen was a water-based one, so that one's not too bad, but some of them I've had to get rid of. But I've got a particularly nice Tom Baker one a little bit later on. Leslie Ash. It's quite nice. It's from Hugh Laurie. It's very, very early. I mean, that's not dated, but you know, a lot of these date back to about 86 to 92. I was sort of actively sort of picking up a lot of these autographs. Michael Gough. It's Gerald Harper, of course, was Adam Adamant. Between the Lines again, Tom Georgeton. You might recognise him, he was also in Doctor Who Genesis of the Daleks. Great actor. Between the Lines again, Neil Pearson, who I got to meet fairly recently. He's now a rare book dealer as well as being an actor. I bumped into him at a book show in London not too long ago, a couple of years ago. Nice chap. One of the young ones, Nigel Planer, did a signing with him in one of the Waterstones many years ago, and that's Jeremy Brett, Sherlock Holmes. Remember writing to him. He's a really nice guy. Died way too young. Tony Robinson, Baldrick. And Siobhan Redman, also from Between the Lines. Well, as I said, one of my favourite shows, so I made a point of trying to get all the cast of that. This is another Doctor Who one, and this is Matt Smith. It was obtained at the Doctor Who Experience. This is quite nice, I always remember this one. So this is from Stephen Fry. There's a signed photo there, personalised. He came with a letter. This is dated 1990, look at this. Dear Jules, thank you so much for your recent letter. I'm delighted to know that you got this 30 years ago. This was delighted to know that you enjoyed Blackadder, but I'm afraid for the moment there are no plans for a future series. I hope you will like the second series of A Bit of Fry and Laurie, which you and I are recording at the moment. It will probably be shown quite soon on BBC Two. It's a vast and uncomplicated pleasure to send you a signed photograph, which I hope doesn't distress you too much. Thank you again for writing and all this. All good wishes. How nice is that? Hey, look at that. Good stuff. With slightly larger photographs now. This is Woody Allen. This one is the original David Burke from the earlier series of the Granada Sherlock Holmes before Edward Hardwicke took over. It's David Tennant. Met him, of course, doing Rise of the Cybermen, but that was a nice still. Didn't get anything signed at the time because it was frowned on. A period Rowan Atkinson from Blackadder Goes Forth. Warwick Davis. That's from the Men Behind the Mask tour. Nice guy as well. It's a little sketch here by Gru artist Sergio Aragones. Really like Sergio. In his 80s now, but still going strong. Harvey Keitel. I've got quite a few from the Tarantino movies because I love them so much. So it's a signed Harvey Keitel. Got Michael Madsen as Mr. Blonde. This is quite nice. This is from Pulp Fiction. It's John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. Really nice ones. So many of these I should have got framed up and never did. Just before the last lockdown, I got to meet a few Star Trek people. So Sonique Martin Green, I got Shatner on the deck of the Enterprise there, and also got to meet Kate Mulgrew. Quite nice. Those aren't signed; they were just sort of in with my signed photos. Also got to meet Garrett himself, Andy Robertson, also from Dirty Harry. Robert De Niro. It's Garrick Hagan, that was the original Biggs. This is Femi something or other. She was the Ula the Dancer girl. Femi something or other, her name is. I was just quite nice. I actually got this one from Dave Prowse. It's a signed Alec Guinness. It's signed by Guinness up there in Fountain Pen. Did a convention in the 90s in Cardiff, a Star Trek convention. Dave Prowse was there with a stall and we were right next to him. So we got to speak with him quite a bit over the weekend, and he had a small amount of signed Alec Guinness still, so he had some with him and Guinness, which Guinness had already signed and he would put his signature on, but I got that from him, so it's a really good one, and he obviously stayed friends with Guinness until he passed away. This is Michael Culver as Nida. There he is, lying on the floor. And there is another Dave Prowse is Darth Vader. This is Val Kilmer from Heat. Let's move these down a little bit. Yeah, it was Heat. Great film. And here's that other Tom Baker that I'm going to use as a centerpiece for my next lot of framed ones. So it's really nice. It's Doctor Who 4 up there. Brilliant, isn't it? Really good. That was when they were doing pre-publicity for Genesis of the Daleks. Ingrid Pitt. I'll have to phase out the boobs there, I'm afraid. This is a clean channel, you know. But she was really nice. Michael Caine. There he is as Harry Palmer from the Ipcris file. There's Keanu Reeves from The Matrix. That famous lobby scene. Brilliant stuff. 2 more Star Wars. So Caroline Blakeston and somebody, what's his name, who played General Maydean? Dermot Crowley or something like that. Oh, look at this one. So many of these gone now. But there's Dave Prowse and Kenny Baker signed that one. Just 2 of them left. Is it Michael Culver? It's Bid Fortuna. Jimmy Doohan, who played Scotty. I've got some video footage, which once again I'll try and drop in of when I've met some of these people. I've got some footage of me meeting Shatner and Doohan actually, so I'll see if I can dig it out and I'll cut that into the video. That was in New York in the late 90s. Always remember that was a convention, brilliant little convention in New York. And but he was so fragile at the end. We were outside just waiting to head off, and we saw him get carried out straight into a waiting taxi. It was quite a surprise seeing that. And that's Tony Aboa. There he is from Porridge, but he was in a lot of other things as well. He was quite a nice guy. This next one is Mike Edwards, who played Logray in Return of the Jedi. And this last one is the original Star Trek crew. Should we take this one out so it's a little bit easier to see? So I actually was at that very same convention, and we saw Walter Koenig finish these off. He was the last signature to get to finish them off. Great set. There they are. 3 of them gone so far. Let's get that framed up. Anyway, I'm going to cut there, and we're going to have a look at some of the other stuff that I've already got framed. So this was incredibly difficult to try and catch in the light without casting too many shadows or getting too much glare. But as you can see here, this is my first 3 Doctors. Now, Hartnell I got fairly recently, along with the Beatles and Laurel and Hardy, and these came from a lady who passed away in about 2016, 2015. She'd met Hartnell a couple of times along with the Beatles, and she got lots of bits and pieces signed by those particular actors and artists. I'm very lucky to get those. So obviously I never met Hartnell myself, but I popped that picture above it with the signature underneath. Patrick Troughton there on the left. I met him at Longleat 83 and a convention, one of the Panopticons after that. That's really nice and it's personalised, and well, Pertwee I met a few times back in the day. So I've got those 3 signed there, and the next thing I'll do is get Doctors 4 to 8 framed up. So I've got them already. It's just a matter of popping them, getting them down to the framers really. I would have done this long ago, but because of the lockdown they've been shut, so that's that. But there you are, that's the first 3 Doctors. I really like that. So here's a few more pieces that I've got framed by my desk here. So this first one is a nice George Lazenby from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. This was a Japanese poster that was pulled out of a book, James Bond poster book, and I got George to sign it. Met him a couple of times at the NEC in Birmingham. Very nice chap. Really, really nice guy. This one here then is it's the main cast of The Simpsons. Now, these were actually released by Inkworks in America as like a trading card premium. So you sort of you got that Bart card in the middle, and then that enabled you to mail that in and get one other signature of your choice. But that was the set of the 5 that they did. I think they're very, very good. Then up here, I got these at the same time I got my William Hartnell. So this is Laurel and Hardy, a page from an autograph book. And this was the Beatles, both obtained by the same woman who got me the William Hartnell, and she met them in Wales. She met the Beatles 3 times, if you can believe it. Got loads of stuff signed. Pretty cool, eh? So these are like on display, just above my desk here. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that little look through my collection of signed photos. Certainly some great stuff there, and definitely more things that I need to get out and get framed up given time. If you have enjoyed this latest video, do please give it the thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing for regular similar content, and I shall look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.